Okay, I just came across this video and it's hilarious. I was yelled at, literally screamed at. Excuse me. You ever heard of bloody murder? That I was not allowed, okay? I was screamed at that I'm not allowed to talk about the trans community, the LGBTQ community, because this one person was a part of it. And in that video, I was talking about how trans in the women who become men, I see it in the men who become women. They like to try to fool people. They like to try to take over and say, we're better than cis women. We are not cis women. We are women. And there was some person on TikTok, and you're going to see it in this video, which this is not the first video I've seen. They're trying to act like real women don't matter and they could be exactly like a real woman. Well, you see, that's the problem. They're saying we can be exactly like real women. You're not a real woman. Now people are trying to say men who become women can also get a period. They've already been saying for years, since that first so called pregnant man, that yeah, men can get pregnant too. That was not a pregnant man. That was a woman who wanted to be a man and kept her insides intact in case she ever wanted to have children. But it wasn't a man. Just because you identify as a man doesn't make you a man. And just because you identify as a woman doesn't make you a woman. It doesn't. Okay? I've even seen videos where some trans women believe they can give birth. There is something wrong in these people's heads. They need help. This is just crazy.
How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that can bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all.
What's going on, America?
Now, that was a comedian called Jess Hilarious. I don't understand this whole gatekeeper stuff, but she is 100% right. And no, just having a period does not make you a woman. But it's a big part of it. Just giving birth doesn't make you a woman. It's just part of it. You can't just say, oh, well, I've got all this money, like the human Ken doll or the human Barbie doll. Go look those people up. It's insane. And instead of doctors saying, you know what? No. They do it because they want the money. I think, yes, the LGBTQ community, trans community is going way too far with their crap.
America, I'm the right-wing danger out of a Mac, and in this video, we got to talk about comedian Just Hilarious getting a ton of backlash right now after she responded to a trans woman TikToker who said that real women do not own womanhood. That's right. A biological man said that biological women do not own womanhood. I mean,
and this is what was said. They literally think, oh, they're acting like a woman, they're dressing like a woman. If they've still got their parts, they're tucking it behind. You ain't acting like a woman. I don't know what you think you're acting like, but you're not acting like a woman. You're just not.
I mean, this is clown world at its finest. But Just Hilarious's response was spot on. It was based in facts and reality. But since we don't live in reality right now, since it's 2023, nothing makes sense anymore. They're trying to cancel her right now because of her statement. They said it's transphobic, of course. So first I'm going to show you the video that she responded.
Of course it's transphobic because you're trying to say something against their delusion. Oh, I'm just as good as any woman. No, you're not, because you're not a woman. For the most part, it's dress up playtime. Look at Chaz Bono. Got its boobs cut off. Took testosterone. But will not get the full operation, hysterectomy, and the changing its vagina to a penis. You're a freak. If someone is born with both sets of genitalia, they are considered to be a freak of nature. But these people are not freaks of nature. Most of them are literally walking around just plain dress up. Others are half and half. This is insane. But it's allowed. And it is being taught to our fucking children. Oh, well, trans people and drag queens and whatever, they can't cause this. Again, Chaz Bono. Cher had that kid around everything from a very young age. Now, some people will say, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It is fine, it was her kid. But look at her kid now. They are acting like women. And they think that makes them a woman. And it's even said in this video, and it's 100% true. If I wanted to identify as black and say I am black, which black people, most of them, wouldn't tolerate, Others, I think, would look at me like I'm crazy, and I would be. But it's like me not only saying that, but saying I'm better than black people. I'm a better black person. You think that would fly? I don't think so.
Responded to. Then I'm going to show you her response. And after that, I'm going to show you some of the backlash that she's been receiving from trans allies. Let's check this out.
This is what I mean when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods.
First off, we're not cis women. You are the cis women. You are trying to be like a woman.
That they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it.
I was born a woman. I had a period for, I want to say, 48 years. 47, 48, 49 years. And yes, there are real women out there who cannot get a period anymore. They can't get a period anymore because of hysterectomies or whatever. Does that make them not a woman? No, because they were born a woman. This, what I'm looking at right now, is a joke.
Like, hello?
Hello. Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking.
Also, it's permitted. Now, I do believe there are some people who truly believe they should have been something they're not. And that can get to you. There are people out there who it gets to them, and I know this isn't the right comparison, but it's good enough, who wanted to be rock stars and didn't make it and have regrets and have that and this and that and whatever, and they never made it. But for them to turn around and make everybody identify them as a rock star, treat them like a rock star, we would say that's crazy. Not today. Today you can be a grown man going around in a diaper, a baby bonnet, and a new in your mouth, and it's all okay. It's fine. No, it's not fine.
Out your face. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that can bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us.
To a point, it does take a man to help make a child, but yeah. There was a talk show called The Joan Rivers Show years and years ago. There was a trans woman on there who swore up and down she was pregnant. She had the baby bump and it was her stomach because they did some kind of medical test on her live on air. It I think it was for a fetal heartbeat. I'm not sure. But there was nothing in the belly. It was called a hysterical pregnancy. You can't make this stuff up. It's happened. It's happened before. It will continue to happen until somebody puts a stop to it and says, you know what? This is not right. We can't just keep allowing this.
You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that.
I totally agree with her. Shout out to Jess Hilarious for making this statement, being brave enough to make this statement, because in the environment that we live in today, we do not have many celebrities that are bold enough and brave enough to come out and say the truth, because everything she said was 100% facts. All facts, no cap. That's what she stated. I can't believe that she's receiving the backlash that she's receiving from this, because basically she said, who's going to stand up for real women, biological women, because they're under attack right now. Everybody is coming for them. We have the trans people that are coming for them, and then we have the trans allies that are coming for biological women, because they want to say that a person who was born a man who has male parts can be considered a woman. To them, there's no such thing as a real woman, because anybody who wants to identify as a woman can be a woman. And saying that biological women don't own periods, don't own womanhood, that is ridiculous.
It is.
That would be like somebody who is white but identifies as black telling black people that black people don't own blackness, that black people don't own black culture, that black people shouldn't be gatekeeping black culture from a person who is white. Do you think that the majority of black people will stand up and say, yeah, let's defend this white man who believes he's black? That would never happen in a million years. So why does it get to happen to where biological men can claim to be women and say that women do not own womanhood? It is ridiculous. I don't know what is going on in this crazy world that we live in today, but as a man, as a biological man, it is in my DNA to protect women. And I'm talking about biological women. So when I see stuff like this, when I see this trans woman who comes out and says that real women, biological women, do not own womanhood, and basically laughs in the face of biological women, that makes me angry as a man. That makes me want to go harder for biological women. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to stand up for biological women. I want to stand up for people like Jess Hilarious, who are bold and brave enough to speak out against this stuff, because eventually you're not even going to be able to say anything to these people.
Exactly. This guy, I watched a video of his just before this where a transgender woman, apparently this is a thing, women with cameras for podcasts walk up to men and ask them to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Well, this trans woman tried to do it, and none of them gave her a 9. And then she asked them, would I get a 9 if I told you I was transgender? And this was a group of young males. And they were all like, no. And there was one guy there who believed this was a transgender. As soon as they found out, their whole attitude changed. Why? Because it's not a woman. Now, the bitch who went off on me, screaming, hey, I'm part of the LGBT community. You can't talk about this. You're talking about me. This person does not do this. This person will come out and say, even though they look like a man, they're not a man. They were born a woman. And even though she is crazy, she does need a lot of help. She's not at the point where she's like, I look like a man, I am a man. No, she knows exactly what she is, and she makes it a point to tell people so they're not duped. But a shitload of transgender women don't want you to even know they were ever a man. They have all these operations to try to make them look perfect. Making the Adam's apple look like less than what it was, and all this other stuff. And they feel like they don't have to tell people, well, I'm biologically male. No. They like the idea of fooling people. There are so many videos of trans women. When guys find out that they're men and they don't want to be with them anymore, they will go to their jobs and scream, he's a homophobe. He was fucking me for how long and then found out I was a man and stopped and rejected me. But he fucked me. He stuck his dick in a man. What are you doing? So you want people to recognize you as something you're not, but then you want to use that as a weapon against them. Saying they are not real men because they fucked you. It's all crazy.
Like I said, she's getting a ton of backlash, and I'm about to show you a video that's just cuckoo crazy. And they're going at this woman so hard, it's like ridiculous. And I feel bad for her, but she had to do what she had to do, and I'm glad she did. So let's check out this video and just you got to see it.
I just saw a really ignorant video from Jess Hilarious saying who's going to stand up for us, because she was just so offended that a trans woman would say that menstruation is not exclusively to cis women. Obviously cis women are not the only ones who experience menstruation, because trans men do too.
How? There were these two guys who used to do things, little stunts on YouTube. I don't know if they're still out there. But they put on something that was supposed to simulate labor pains. They went through hell. And only for like 20 minutes, an hour. There are women who go through labor for 72 hours. But I would really like to know how a man experiences a period. Experiences the bleeding, the cramps, the mood swings, the everything else. This bitch is just as delusional as they are.
But importantly, this ignorance has to stop. Like, enough is enough. Enough is a fucking enough. Like,
it is enough is enough. You're the one who's ignorant. How does a man have a period? And don't be like that dumb bitch on the video yesterday. Look it up. You're stating this as facts. You should have the facts in your head ready to roll out your motherfucking mouth when people tell you, no, that's not true. And you say, no, it's a fact. Don't tell them to go look it up. You be ready with the fucking facts for something like this. And then tell them, look it up. No, you just want to say whatever the fuck you want. Oh, but you're oppressed. Right? You're not allowed to say anything because you're black in a white man's world. You are not allowed to say whatever stupid thing comes into your head. Right? Bullshit.
This whole idea that trans people are in some way endangering your womanhood, the idea that even cis women, why do you seem to think that we are nothing more but menstruation in your biological parts? If another person, if a trans person,
it's more than that, stupid.
Talks about menstruation or the experiences or the fact that they are included in this, you're like, who's gonna defend us if you don't shut your stupid.
This whole defending us. There is nothing to defend. But these people need to be shot down and put in their place immediately. It's already gone too far. We don't need it to go further.
Like, listen, Jess Hilarious is hilarious. I'll give her that. I think she is a talented comedian, but shut the fuck up, because this is not the first time she's been culturally ignorant. Stay out of politics. Shut the fuck up, Jess.
Culturally ignorant? Like cultural appropriation? Which there are recorded records. Black people culturally appropriated this ratchet bullshit hua behavior from white rednecks in the South years and years and years and years ago. Wearing wigs and weaves to try to make your hair look like a white woman's hair. Don't give me this bullshit. Oh no, I look like a black woman with black women hair. How many black women have naturally occurring straight hair? Not many. But yet you'll sit there and you'll play dress up and doll up in front of the mirror, in front of your daughters, which makes them feel inferior. And then you turn around and say, you nappy-headed little bitch. And how come you're not worried about that shit? No, but you're worried about this? You're worried about men should be able to say they get a period? Yeah, but you need to stay oppressed and not be able to speak and not be able to this and not be able to that. Bullshit. Just the fact this stupid shit's coming out of your mouth, you're not oppressed.
Culturally ignorant? Is culture out of touch with reality now? A biological man cannot have a period. A biological man cannot experience woman.
Okay, I think like with hermaphrodites, there are some men who get a period. But I also think that's so rare, like being born with both sets of genitalia. Being born with the ability to get yourself pregnant. But those are extremely, extremely rare cases. And trust me, those guys don't want to be women. They want to hide the fact that happens. Because they understand it's not normal. These people think this is totally normal.
Womanhood. But if you have a trans man, which is a biological female, then they can experience periods because they are a biological female. So if you're going to say that trans men can experience periods, then you have to preface men with trans, or it makes no sense. Am I correct or am I wrong? You have to say trans men can have periods so that people will know oh, a trans man is a biological woman. Biological women are the only people that can have periods. It sucks that we have to even put biological on it because at one point in our history, when things made sense, a trans woman was a trans woman and a real woman was just called a woman, or a biological woman was just called a woman. A trans man was a trans man, and a real man or a biological man was just called a man. But now we have to inject this term called cis into society when the majority of people were not on board with that. We do not like being called cis, a cis man or a cis woman, because we are the real thing. And if we are the real thing, there's no need to preface the real thing. If somebody asks you for a Coca-Cola, then you know they're not asking for a Diet Coke. Because if you say Coca-Cola, you want the real thing. Diet Coke is not.
Can't beat the real thing.
Coca-Cola. It's Diet Coca-Cola. So it's the same thing as with trans women and trans men. If somebody is on a dating app and they want to date women, you should not include trans women.
Exactly. Have a whole separate section, but that's not what they want. They want a fool, guys. That's another reason why they want our kids. They're not really enjoying the selection they have. They want to have more of a selection. So maybe if they got to wait 10, 12 years, 15 years for the kids to grow up, they're going to be young and looking good. You want more to pick from. Wake up, people. Go look up the videos. There are videos out there of they had like kids ranging from ages, I think, 8 to 12, just staring at grown-ups who were naked. And the kids started saying, well, at first it didn't seem right, but then after a while it just seemed normal. They want that to seem normal. And it's not. And once you see the things I've seen, you're going to want to run. Grab your kids out of school and go live in a cave, because it would be a lot better than living in a society where by law you've got to have your kid in school.
In that equation, if somebody is on a dating app, they're a woman and they want to date a man, you should not include trans men in that equation. So shout out to everybody who's speaking up against this stuff. I think everybody is going to have their breaking point, and I'm glad that some women are starting to wake up, because the only reason that this stuff is allowed right now is because women are allowing it. Women are allowing biological.
There you go. It was always mothers who got boycotts going of things that would hurt our kids. But a lot of the mothers today grew up being groomed, conditioned, brainwashed, so that kind of stuff isn't happening. It's all crazy.
For men to invade their spaces. So if the only people who are going to be able to get us to a better space with this LGBTQ stuff is going to be women. So we need more women that are brave enough to speak out against this stuff, because they're going to erase biological women.
Which it seems like they want to do. And a lot of people would say, I'm crazy for that. Go listen to them talk. There are a large number of them who believe they are better than women because they do not get a period. Men would not have to put up with that. Do you see how nuts this is? they believe men can get periods and experience menstruation and even give birth. They also believe they're better than women because they can't do that.
You're not going to be able to distinguish biological women from trans women at some point in time if we do not stop what's going on today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please.
And there you go.